It's Lindsay. We are doing a collective tarot reading. We're going to do a pick a card. As always, if any of these messages don't resonate for you, please feel free to choose another deck. The first deck number 1, is the Phantom Wise Tarot by Erin Morgenstern. And we have this really beautiful kind of green glass. The second deck is the Angels deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And the third deck is Tarot of the Divine. I don't know who the author is. With Tiger Iron. So I'm going to give you guys a second to pick your deck, make a decision, and then we're going to get into pulling. Okay. So let's start with deck number 1. And we're just going to tap in and see where this adventure takes us. And I almost feel like that's exactly what we're talking about. Let's see where this adventure takes us, right? So this deck does very much give me carnival vibes, and that's kind of what I'm feeling for you. You're kind of up for the adventure right now. Up for the adventure. Let's clarify, Spirit. What adventure are we up for? You're changing jobs. You're changing something around your work environment. Maybe you're pursuing a career that's more aligned with your interests. So if this is the case, this is confirmation that you are going in the right direction. The Three of Swords and the World. Okay. Because in some ways, so the Three of Swords usually signifies heartbreak. It can also signify like a third party, but for you, when we're talking about work, we're talking about that adventure feeling. It's this freeing from this being tied to something that no longer serves you, specifically around work, that exhausts you, that keeps you from fulfilling your highest potential, right? So you've felt that you've been locked down for a long time, and part of that is that you don't get to fulfill those things that are inside of you, that you feel driven to pursue in the current work environment you're in. So then you have the World, which is a closing out of a cycle, is major arcana. So let's kind of get into seeing what there's an alarm. Let's get into seeing what is coming up after you make this move, you make this decision, hop on those carnival rides. It's almost like you're ready to see what life has in store when you say yes to it. And I think the universe is only going to get better for you. The world is only gonna get better for you because you are saying yes. You have this emotional fulfillment. You have the King of Cups. So before, where you were stuck, where you were in work, now you're feeling emotionally fulfilled. So specifically, I'm hearing something to do with artistry, but specifically, this is for someone almost tattoo work, someone doing tattoos, someone having tattoos, somebody doing something artistic around tattoos is what I'm seeing. So that's going to be a very specific message. Pursuing their learning around that type of body art is what I'm seeing. And I also see an artistic talent, and that's not just for this person that I'm talking about with the tattoos, but for other people watching as well. So something about your artistic talent, your artistic creativity is really going to be the driving force around how you choose to follow your next earning path and your work. So artist, musician, anything along those creative lines. I feel like if you are this type of person, that's giving the message for you to follow. The Queen of Wands, yes, exactly. So Wands has to do with creativity. Follow your creativity I'm also getting something around sculpture. Something specifically around Italian sculpture, which is interesting. So either learning sculpture, like classical sculpture, or going and taking a trip to see, you know, classic sculpture, going to a museum to be inspired by classic sculpture, classic art, things like that. I do think that that would be something fortuitous for this collective that I'm reading for, is actually taking yourself, if it is a creative flow that you're finding yourself in, taking yourself to a museum for inspiration. Like, you are definitely going on an adventure, and I feel like at times it's going to get a little bit, I'm hearing strange, that's kind of funny, but unusual, unexpected, the path is unexpected. But you are definitely the Knight of Wands, going on an adventure through exploring your creativity in work, in and around your money. Very interesting. Okay, so that is deck 1. We're going to go into deck 2, which was our Orange Calcite Pyramid. I got this as a gift from someone I did a reading for, so really beautiful, very sweet to have given that to me. With the Angels deck, Doreen Virtue, deck 2. What are we talking about, deck 2? There's something else. I'm seeing a child on a swing. I don't know. Okay, hang on. What is this? Child on a swing. Child on a swing, specifically. Something with a child on a swing. 2 of Fire energy. Okay, hang on. Spirit, I want to get more clarification of the child on a swing. There's somebody, this is going to be very specific again. There's somebody who has a child who has some type of clairvoyant abilities. Who was watching this, someone whose child can see, maybe not ghosts or spirits, but they have extra sensory things happening where maybe they know before someone, you know, calls, or it's almost like they see things in the future, like as if they were watching a movie. So it feels like maybe sometimes they've said things to kind of that maybe were unsettling or things like that. Maybe they see spirits or ancestors, but it's like this child has clairvoyant or clairsentient abilities. So sentient is like understanding. Voyant is voy, to see. So that would be actually seeing. And so whoever child this is a very specific message again. It does seem like this energy runs in the family. So you or other siblings may have this, or grandparents, or but it almost seems like the gift is coming in strongest through this child. And so there's this message to really nurture this gift, because they're one of the first ones in the line to be able to see very clearly, and also not be shut down for it, whatever that gift is. Yeah, so 4 of Air, ties, family ties. Ace of Water, so this is, you know, being held under water, which is to say, you know, don't hold back the gift. Don't, you know, let it come through, nurture the gift, allow them to exist as they are. And if this is yourself, if you in fact have any of these abilities, nurture your own gift, because there's something important in nurturing your gift. Also, that embracing of a gift that is familial, that is ancestral in your lineage, and again, being one of the first who is able to do so without persecution is very important. Knight of Earth. So I'm seeing the word dedicated. So you have a dedicated gift for a reason, and you must dedicate yourself to this gift. Now is not the time to shut it off. Also, I'm getting the throat chakra being activated, so that tells me in sharing your gift. If it's your child, that's obviously not what you want to do so much, They may be too young to kind of consent to that. But if it is you yourself, speaking about your gift and or sharing your gift on some platform is very important for you right now, because you are attracting people who need it, and you are also opening the flow of the divine through you. And that's very important, because there are certain messages that need to come through. And I am channeling right now. So you may hear my voice change, my tone change. So when I channel, I do sometimes not sound like myself. My tone will get deeper. It will change. It often becomes a lot slower and more pronounced than my regular voice. And so in yourself, don't be afraid, reach out to have your patience, reach out to people. If you admire anyone who also has a gift, reach out and ask them, how do you embrace your gift? What techniques do you use to help you open to your gift, and all these types of things, because I do think that there's something very important in the nurturing of your gift and or your child's gift. Okay, that was deck 2. We're going to go on to the Light Seers Tarot, deck 3, and we have a tiger iron, which is typically a protective stone. This is a blend of tiger's eye and hematite. So this is a very, very heavy stone. Okay, so the Light Seers Tarot, and put a little light down at the bottom. Let's see, there we go. Cute. This deck, I'm getting a lot of distractions with, actually. Getting a lot of distractions, collective, and I feel like you've been turned around a little bit. You have been distracted. I'm seeing something specifically around reading, around books, wanting to finish books or certain books, or like, okay, this is what I'm getting. Using books as a distraction. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So it's almost like hopping into a fantasy world as a distraction, which, I'm not going to really say anything about, because I do love books. I cannot be judgmental about that fact. But, in the same way that deck 2 is opening to their abilities, I think whoever you are, you specifically have, this is all about like abilities. These 3 decks, they're all about different abilities moving forward, creative abilities. This one specifically is about writing. So pursuing writing and or something around books, something around, I'm hearing romance. So if you write romance books or poetry, anything like that, this is confirmation for you to continue and to share your work, or something specifically around books. So if you have started a job in a library, or in a bookstore, or you want to kind of move in that direction, there is this love of books. A bibliophile is what I'm getting for this reading. Very, very interesting. And it's also someone, so you have the 3 of Wands. If you notice, they are climbing the ladder. It's someone who maybe previously worked in corporate, or that type of, corporate ladder energy, and they did it for a long time. business minded for a long time, and that's really a drain. There's nothing invigorating for you in that. And so now you are bringing yourself into positions where you can have invigoration. This is much like the first one, but the focus is on writing and sharing story. Also, like oral storytelling, so the traditions of oral storytelling is really important. And it will take a lot of hard work is what I'm seeing, but whatever comes out of it is worth it. And I think it's also, and this might just be me reading for myself as a writer, but it's also a cathartic, like a therapeutic thing for you to write in whatever way you write. I'm also hearing poetry, so the poetry aspect is extremely important. You know, short form poetry where you can just get to the marrow of the thing. Anything else? Any other messages? We have one more message here. I'm also hearing group writing, so like if you do writing groups, if you've gone to writing groups, that might be time to really start working on that and working with people who write. Also, if you've written anything, getting feedback on your writing is very important at this time. It was really interesting. So those were my collective readings. Collective pick a card. I hope at least one of those worked out for you. My name is Lindsey Rose. This is Storyteller Tarot. If you would like your own reading, please check out the links in bio. Otherwise, I wish you guys well.